All right, so this morning we are talking to Benjamin Gullet, who is a food enthusiast and home cook, and you've got some ideas for Friendsgiving for us this morning.
Absolutely, yes. I'm so excited to share with you these ideas because Friendsgiving, it's like Thanksgiving only without all those pesky family members. So sometimes it could be a little bit more enjoyable depending on your circle of friends.
Right.
So when do you celebrate Friendsgiving? Because I've heard the day before Thanksgiving and I've also heard the day after so that you can use leftovers.
Really, for me, it's either way. Today, the recipes we're going to make, we're making these crispy stuffing balls. This is used making leftovers. So it's perfect for the day after Thanksgiving.
Okay.
If you're making something like our apple crostata here, that might be something that you're going to do for the day before Thanksgiving. For me, the true difference is leftovers are great and you're always trying to find ways to use them. But generally, the day after Thanksgiving includes a lot more alcoholic recipes to celebrate no longer, being with your family. I have no problems with my family. Let me be clear if they're watching.
That's awesome.
Way to keep it safe. So that's awesome. So what are some hints that you have to make sure that there's a successful Friendsgiving? Is it awesome food?
I think awesome food will always make an awesome Friendsgiving, right? Because anywhere you go, any conversations that you might have with anybody, if it's around a table and you're eating food, it can never be that bad. So we're going to make these crispy stuffing balls today. We're using leftover stuffing. If you're going to do this the day before, if you're doing your Friendsgiving, it's okay to just buy the box stuffing and make that up pretty quickly. It's like 5 minutes and you're ready to go. I did that because this is before Thanksgiving. But so what we have here is we have some celery, some onions, and some garlic. We're gonna put that in a little pan here over about medium heat with just a little bit of butter, just to kind of make it a little bit translucent. You don't want it to get too brown on you. You want it to be kind of soft, right? And that's because we're gonna end up putting this all in the oven. So it's gonna cook a little bit more once it's in the oven. Once you have that together, we're going to go and jump from that, and we've got our stuffing here. So it's kind of clumpy because it's been in the refrigerator. So that's traditional leftover stuffing. That's what you're really looking for. So see, you can make it as real as you want. We've got our pre-cooked that celery, the onion, the garlic. We're going to dump that into our pan here, our bowl here. It's not really a pan. Here we have some brie. Now this is what makes it fancy for your friends. If you take this to your family, they're going to go, "Ooh, I don't like brie." But your friends, they love brie and they don't know why, but they do. So you're gonna take some brie and you're gonna just chop off. I've got some opinions on things. It's okay.
I love it.
You're gonna chop up that brie. You're gonna remove that rind because nobody wants to eat that rind, and it's gonna go in there. And here we have some leftover turkey. So you made that 25-pound turkey and you only ate a pound of it. So you've got some leftovers of that. So that's gonna go in here as well. If you are cheating, like I did. Yeah. I actually went to the deli and just had them slice some turkey breast really thick to do this. So, really, there's always an easy alternative for all of these different things, right?
Because you might not be making a full turkey depending on what you're doing.
That's it, exactly. You might just be making turkey breast. You might not even be making turkey. You could put it, if you're making a chicken or a ham, that's going to go great in this as well.
Cool.
From there, we're going to get our hands messy. We're going to clump these into about 2-inch sized balls. If you notice that your stuffing is still really thick after mixing everything in here, you can always add some chicken stock, chicken broth, just to loosen it up a little bit more. From there, we're going to dump it into some little bit of flour coating there. We're going to put it in some egg and coat the crispy stuffing ball and our fingers. And then we're putting it in pork rinds. Now these are Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds. This is one of their holiday flavors, which is actually a cranberry jalapeno. So we're really giving it this nice flavor there.
Yeah.
A little spicy kick, a little fruity kick, and still within the traditional Thanksgiving flavors. You're going to do that with the rest here, and it's pretty simple to make. Once you've got the balls made, it's going to go into a 375-degree oven for about 25 to 30 minutes, depending on your oven. You're really just looking for a nice crispiness, which is what we have here. If you can't find the cranberry jalapeno pork rinds, it's okay. Small batch makes a lot of good variety of flavors like Korean kimchi, sea salt and cracked black pepper, pineapple ancho chili. Any of those flavors would make a good, nice crusting for this. And really, this isn't clearly this isn't a low carb recipe with our stuffing and our flour here, but really, if you're just looking for that low carb snack and high protein, pork rinds from Southern Recipe Small Batch are definitely a delicious way to go.
Oh, and especially the cranberry and the jalapeno sounds really good with that mix of
Yeah.
sweet and spicy.
That's it. It's, you know, it's just it balances that flavor really well. You know, honestly, the first time I tried it, I just really wasn't sure about the combination of those two, but they actually go together so incredibly well. I
Yeah.
love it. Now, real quick here, we also have an apple crostata that we made. You can get these recipes online at southernrecipesmallbatch.com and also parmcrisp.com, because that's what we're going to talk about with this apple pie crostata. This is also really simple to make. You could totally, absolutely 100% make it from scratch, or you can cheat like I did. And I definitely bought the pie crust and kind of built that up around there. I did chop up the apples. We used like a Fiji apple and some Granny Smith apples. That's perfect. And then once you've got that done, it's like a 400-degree oven, 40, 50 minutes, depending. What I like to do then is I like to sprinkle these parm crisps, which they're 100% cheese snack, also really good for that low carb snack. And we're just going to sprinkle them just right over the top of the apple crostata. Now, I know what you're saying, cheese and apple pie, but there is an old saying that says apple pie without the cheese is like a kiss without the squeeze. So can't go wrong here. It's delicious.
I've not heard that one.
Oh, well, now you have to pretend like you've always known it and say, well,
Right.
my great-great-great-grandfather, when he came over on the Santa Maria, said apple pie without the cheese is like a kiss without the squeeze. And, you know, the kids, they'll believe you. Whoever you tell, even people on the street, they'll trust you.
Well, and you know, you can't go wrong with cheese no matter what. So
Honestly, if you're not a big fan of apple pie crostatas, just use the pan and dump the parm crisp in the pan and you can just eat cheese. It's perfect.
So the parm crisps aren't Parmesan on crackers. They're literally just cheese that's crispy.
It's just that Parmesan, like
Awesome.
baked Parmesan. These are the original flavors, but they also come in a wide variety of flavors as well. You know, jalapeno, sesame, some really great unique flavors as well. So, you know, if you're looking for that spicy kick, you can get that. And if you're just looking for something a little bit more subtle, you can go with the original. And they also come in like these very big chip pieces as well. So those are good for dipping. If you wanted to make some sort of dip for your Friendsgiving, even like a cranberry relish. Not that this is where I'm going to stump everybody. Not the jar kind. The jar kind is traditionally disgusting. But if you take a little bit of time just to make it up yourself, and it doesn't really take that long, your friends are going to be wowed by it. And then take it to your family as well, because they're going to be wowed by it as well. But these would be really good to dip in that too.
Well, these are awesome. We'll get the full recipes up on the Buzz blog on the Z93 Lacrosse app and at Z933.com. And I think especially this year, I think there's going to be more Friendsgivings than before because, you know, perhaps you're just going to stay home with your roommates and you're going to just do that rather than having a large family gathering. It's just the people that are already in your social bubble to keep it safe and to have delicious food still be involved, I think is the most important.
I think that's perfect. I mean, honestly, you're right. Everything needs to be a little bit smaller this year. Everything's gonna be a little bit different this year. But these recipes, you know, the stuffing, the crispy stuffing balls, the apple pie crostata, they're small enough that you could make it for you and a roommate, or
right.
you know, you and a wife if she's your friend. You guys can make that in small batches, and then still do you can still do like Zoom calls with your friends,
Right.
and you could each make the same thing, so you
Yeah.
can share in that experience, or you can all make different things that you can kind of say, this is what I did for Friendsgiving this year.
That's a good idea too. I like that.
That's awesome. Well, thanks so much for your time this morning. Is there any other amazing tips that you wanted to share with us?
Amazing tips. I say, do whatever makes you happy. I say for Friendsgiving, to me, it is truly about just finding the right food and finding the food that you enjoy. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to amaze. It just has to be enjoyed. And that's what we're doing here today. Oh, wow. That sounded really subtle and nice compared to everything else I've said.
So good.
We'll
Keep
just
that.
use
Cut out
that
this
clip in the
ending part
promo.
because
Yeah. Keep that for your keep that in your back pocket for your future
In your B-roll.
that's it. Oh, he is a really nice person. We want to see more of him.